to be discussing how to overcome challenges being a small guy in jiu-jitsu and discussing with us some of his highlight moments in his jiu-jitsu career and also the life lessons. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Youth of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu podcast. So excited to be with you today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm here joined with my good friend, Coco.
My name is Coco Izy, and I've been training jiu-jitsu for like maybe 6 years now, and I've been competing there, but I'm okay at jiu-jitsu. Let's get this podcast done.
What's the story on how you first started training jiu-jitsu?
Well, I've always been into martial arts, so since I was little, like I was put into martial arts by my parents. So like I started off with karate when I was like 5, and then I moved over to wrestling. I did for like 1 year, but which I didn't like because like I don't know, it was too sweaty for me. And I moved over to jiu-jitsu when I was around 12 or 13, but I didn't take it seriously then because I was more interested into team sports. So I was doing soccer and all other team sports. And then after like 15, like before my juvenile year, so like 15, that's when I started training seriously.
For us smaller guys in jiu-jitsu, the challenges that you face being the small guy in the room training with bigger people.
For us to be more technical and try to, I just had a mind blank, sorry. Like they're bigger, stronger than me, so like they're able to outpower me. I'm not sure how much I weigh, but like I fight at the lightest category, so rooster and lighter people. A lot of people compete in the open weight, but a lot of the lighter guys struggle to deal with their strength. Jiu-jitsu in the gi, there's so much resistance where if they hold on to one part of your collar, a rooster weight cannot move. Or like if a heavier guy puts you in a closed guard, like my goal is to stand up and open the closed guard because I'm never going to be able to open it on my knees. But like for me to stand up from their closed guard, I think is nearly impossible because their weight of their legs, and I'm not able to posture up. So I think the biggest challenge is their strength and their weight. And also like their frame is longer too. So sometimes you're able to pass their guard, but the fact that their arms are so longer than you, you're not able to capture that space. So like if they push on your collar and then like they're creating that space, like maybe someone against your own size, you're able to capture that space and close the distance. But on a bigger guy, they have that extra inch of space that they can push away.
How have you overcome training with bigger opponents?
You have to be more technical than the opponent, and the most important thing is keeping the distance against a bigger opponent, off guard against a bigger opponent, because I'm just simply going to get flattened out. So what I would call it is a close distance guard. Yes, when the opponent's close to me, I prefer not to play that against a bigger guy the whole time. Not a bench press, almost bench press with my arms, but leg press with my legs as well. So like I'm gonna become more tired as the match goes on. So I prefer to keep the distance by playing the lasso or like spider, like more of a distance guard. I do that smash pass from that triangle, which I always get caught in. Yeah, so like if you watch like Mikey and that big dude, I forgot his name. Mikey played a really safe game where he kept the distance. But like against Mikey, who's a world champion, someone against that size is really hard to do anything. But like the bigger guy couldn't do anything, but I also think Mikey wasn't able to do anything. He can't force anything. So like if you try to force a technique, it always becomes more of into a scramble. Okay, and if your strengths are scrambling and come like taking the person's back or like scramble to get to a new position, I think it's really hard on a bigger guy because like the bigger guy can just throw you off or win that battle. Because at that time when it's scramble, it's almost about the strength. always training with a bigger guy, there is a chance of getting hurt. Okay, even if a smaller guy does the same technique as a bigger guy, and the big guy does it on you, like there is more pressure from the bigger guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I try not to get stacked against bigger guys as well, because the next day my lower back's gonna be like hurting, and
There's some important aspects, just being more aware, learning, staying in your lane, right? Being aware that you can't out muscle, don't force a technique, and
hmm
choose your training partners wisely. You may want to challenge yourself, train with a bigger person, but you have to know them, that they won't just go full. You got to know that they'll take care of you, and safety is always the priority.
yeah, choosing the partner wisely is like the best way. Like personally, like I don't want to train with bigger guys,
Mhm.
but like I'm not gonna say no to like if they ask me. So like there's always like in Australia, I think it's really hard. Well, like anywhere, but like I'm always the smallest person, so I always have to train with someone bigger.
You like how you mentioned, creating a frame, um, you know again, with choosing your opponents wisely, and the different purpose, having a purpose of why you want to roll with them as well.
hmm
And
Yeah.
Coco, you have had an amazing career, from kids, juveniles, coming into adults.
hmm
So can you discuss with us some of your highlighted moments in your competition career, and why?
Kid, it was I didn't. It was good to win all like the Pan Pacific, Australian Championship, um,
Mhm.
even the local ones. Like those are the ones that really helped me. Like to see when I went to the States and started competing over there, like I felt like there was now I don't think there's too much of a gap. But like back before, like when I was a kid, well, I'm still a kid, but like when I was
Mhm.
13, I think there was still a huge gap
Mhm.
between the jiu-jitsu. Um, I think Australia is right now catching up to it,
Mhm.
but back then, like the level was so different. So Australia and I would do okay, but if I got America, like I would get smashed.
Mhm.
But it was easy for me to adjust because I was training at AOJ where they had heaps of kids. Like
Mhm.
they were all probably the best in the world. It was the ones that still competing or like from the same age as me was
Mhm.
Zach Kana and Joaka.
Yeah.
The kids they were like amazing, and now like they're doing
Yeah.
really well in the adult scene as well. Like
Mhm.
I didn't even have the chance to like even spar with them as a kid because like I wouldn't get paired up because
Mhm.
they were just like on a different level.
How have you been able to measure and see the growth in your game? I know, like, for people that are just beginning jiu-jitsu, they may
hmm
feel that they're stuck in their jiu-jitsu journey and don't see any progression. Jiu-jitsu is like plateauing; it goes down, then up and down.
hmm
So, how have you been able to measure it?
Well, that's always I think a hard question because
Mhm.
like yourself, like you don't really realize that too much, like if you're improving or not.
Mhm.
Okay, the the biggest improvement, like I felt like the progress is like when I went to America. Like let's say I was doing okay with a, a person in Australia, like
Mhm.
and was able to like go back and forth at him, and when I got to America and train and come back and was able to beat him easily. I think those are the kind of things that are able to you're able to track your progress better. But I think it's all mentally as well because
Mhm.
I like you can feel like you're plateauing, but you're improving in a sense. Like from the third person view, like you like if you watch yourself on tape, you might be like, oh, I'm improving this and that. So like I think a lot of people have like it's always good to have like really big goals, but like they don't track their small goals and pro. I feel like everyone has a dream of like becoming a world champion.
Yeah.
That's the end goal. But like to get there, you need to like come along with like small goals. So like even if it's a small goal, uh, let's say somebody's passing your guard
Mhm.
every single time where you spar against them. So the first goal, like in your mind, should be like, I want to beat him or something. But like for me, like I create small goals, and so I'll train with him, and my goal there would be looking at the time the whole time, and say, let's say the guy's already passing my guard in 30 seconds. My goal is not to let him pass for 45 seconds. And then next round I do with him or her, it's 1 minute. So each time I'm trying to gradually um, increase the time. Like those are the kind of things like can help you see your progress. But if you feel like I just want to beat that guy or beat that person, like I think it's going to be hard to see your progress. Most people think that you have to train with the best guys to become the best,
Mhm.
but I don't think that's necessarily true. It's really hard to progress your jiu-jitsu that way, I feel like, because like you're just going against the person, you already know each other's game and you're just going at it. So like you see like you're doing against these guys, but and then you spar with someone who taps you out, but maybe in one of the rounds he wasn't able to tap you out. Like that's when you see your progress. Because a lot of people just go to training just with no goal. They just go to
Yeah.
training and just go, oh, let's lay on the mat, let's spar,
Mhm.
handshake, and
Mhm.
just drill for no reason. Like I see them, like I shouldn't say, like I don't think, I think there's a time to do speed drills, like from
Mhm.
to knee on belly the whole time.
Mhm.
I think it's good for cardio, but I don't see the effectiveness of drilling that, and I don't see you'll see a progress in that, like
Mhm.
your jiu-jitsu progressing like effectively, just doing for not for warm up, but like I see some academies just drill like to knee on belly the whole time for one
Yeah.
minute,
Yeah.
and I don't see the effectiveness of that.
Mhm. Yeah, I think like a couple of points that you're mentioning, that's so valuable, setting
Mm.
smaller goals. And then like how you mentioned, people just rock up to training and expecting that they're just going to get better. But if you
Mhm.
don't set a goal, work your way to that big goal that you have, and,
Mm.
using those smaller goals and leveraging off of that. And also how you're mentioning that you don't have to be training with the best. Like you were saying, training with a variety of people.
Like the same level as you is awesome, but I feel like when I see them in competition, like it always becomes into a stale match. So like you always see them um, playing a god, and then they might lose by one advantage,
Mm-hmm.
or like the other way around. And like I don't see too many attacks from them. It becomes more of like defensive. Good way to like spar with a person, someone you can pass the guard or tap them out, just to like open up your game more and like discover new positions. Otherwise, like if you're going with the same guy who's the same level every time, you know each other's game very well, and it's always going to become a stalemate. Have like I've had like training partners who like we have the same training session every single time.
You've trained with Tyson
Hmm.
Suarez, Robert, and how's
Yeah,
training with those prestigious guys?
I think uh, they they both have different games,
Mm-hmm.
and from Robert I learned a lot about passing. Um, he has really good passing, and like overall, like he doesn't stop moving. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I learned from him is like just keep like I can't always keep just recovering my guard, because like at the end he will just uh outpace me and pass my guard. Okay, so and same as Towson as well. Towson's like really good at the, almost everything.
Yeah.
So he's good at Baron Bolo. Robert's really good at Baron Bolo as well,
Mm-hmm.
and like footlocks. But Towson's good at back attacks and passing, and training with them. Like I learned because like they're so much better. They were so much better than me
Mm-hmm.
at level. They killed me every single round, and
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty unmotivating, to be honest. Like getting killed every single round, but like
Mm-hmm.
I learned like that's when I learned how to create small goals,
Mm-hmm.
because like Towson Robert would pass my guard like in like when we first ran, like maybe like 10 seconds. Yeah, 10, 20 seconds. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so like I started creating goals. Like I'm not gonna let him pass for like
Mhm.
1 minute. Yeah, like I've probably like gotten beaten up for the last in training for the last 3, 4 years,
Mhm.
like every single day.
Mhm.
So like it's I wouldn't say it's unmotivating,
Mhm.
but like it can be. Like
Mhm.
I feel like people who go overseas to a big team
Mhm.
is unmotivated straight away, like the first week, because they go on the mats and like they get smashed, and their just confidence just goes way,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if you're doing well in Australia and then you just have this I'm not saying like the levels that different now, but like before, I think when I used to go there, like I used to get smashed and my motivation just goes boom. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
unless like you're, I don't know, Bushesha, like you
Yeah.
just beat up everyone.
Just be a very
Yeah.
crazy, out of this world.
Hmm.
And you're given a couple of questions through the Instagram post. So making sure, guys, that you follow Coco. I'll leave all the links to his
Yeah.
following down below. And the first question was, what do you think is the most effective defensive position? Let's see.
Like I think most effective defense. I think for me, the lasso.
Yeah.
If I have double lasso, it's a defensive position for me.
Mhm.
Okay, um, it depends on what kind of style you play. But like for me, the defensive position is the lasso. Like I'm not letting the opponent on top pass. It depends on the rule set of the match as well. Like if you're playing IBJF, like the goal for you on bottom is not to get passed.
Mhm.
So like you want to be in a position where like now the rules have changed, but like back before, like if you get into half guard, like sometimes the referee gave a advantage on top,
Mhm.
but like now like they're not giving advantages for half guard. The most important thing is like not to be in a defensive mindset. There are times to be more defensive, but it's just like if you're not on the attack, the guy's just attacking you. So like you can be defensive better, but like in the question, it's like the effectiveness. I don't think it's the most effective to be just in the defensive mode.
What is your best tournament memory?
Best tournament memory. Mm, like to be honest, like I don't remember the tournaments. Like I'm so in the moment,
Mhm.
and like afterwards, like I look at the picture and I'm like, oh, that was fun.
Mhm.
But I think all tournaments have a different story, different training camp. So like even if I lose or win, of course I want to win. And
Mhm.
like the winning, like when I win, like all of them feels great at the
Yeah.
moment. But like the every loss, like I've gotten better. So like those are good tournament memories too. Uh, like especially when I lost worlds at juvenile,
Mhm.
like in the finals, like I learned a lot from that, and I improved a lot after that. So interview in like maybe 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, heard it coming up. Yeah, love your answer because being a lot present in the moment and just haven't found that best tournament memory. You achieved that.
Maybe I don't know, but like I
Yeah.
think I don't enjoy the tournament as much as like people do.
Hmm.
I enjoyed like the process, like the training camp and like the trip there more than the tournament. I'm not sure, but like
Yeah.
I really like the training camps at AOJ, I think.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's this academy called Brea I used to go to, like just to train with like all the Cicero Costa guys, and that really helped me out a lot. The training experience there is crazy because like
Mhm.
mats is like they close all the doors
Yeah.
and like you just see like 50
Sauna.
people on the mats,
Yeah.
like sweat everywhere. It's like the most disgusting,
Ooh.
but like almost like it was a good memory, I guess.
Mhm.
Being consistent with your training, everyone has different goals. So if your goal is to become a world champion, of course that's going to take time and more dedication. But if you're doing it for a hobby, just have fun with it. Don't take it too serious. Because like jiu-jitsu is a long journey. So like if you're taking it
Yeah.
too serious at blue belt, like you got purple, brown, and then black to get through. The real competition just starts at black belt. So like don't get unmotivated by losing a blue belt or purple belt match. Those losses will lead up to being a black belt world champion.
Thank you so much, for sharing your knowledge and your time today, Coco. Amazing. Hope you guys, got some value out of that. Sure, I've learned a lot from it. So make sure that you comment down what you learned down below. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Coco, for joining us.
All right, thanks, Isaiah.
Woo!
Go like and subscribe on Isaiah's channel. I've always wanted to say that.
Yeah. Love it. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Keep smiling, keep training hard. So here, treina duro. Peace.